What would be the negative impacts of a reduction of the LCS program from 52 to 40?
Well, first, it's absolutely correct that we have a validated need. The force structure assessment says we need 52 small surface combatants, and your discussion of the study that was undertaken because of concerns with lethality and survivability, and literally thousands of alternatives were looked at. We came out, the frigate program, the last 20 are going to be far more survivable, far more lethal, and we're going to be able to backfit some of the original LCSs with that survivability and lethality. Anytime you reduce the numbers in a shipbuilding program, number one, the price goes up for what you're going to get. If we down select only one version, one shipyard would almost certainly close. One of the things that we have learned and other countries have learned, and it's a hard lesson, is that if you lose these unique skills, it's almost impossible to get them back. It takes years, it takes far more to get them back than it does to maintain them. Number three, the way that the 52 number was arrived at is looking at all the missions that are required from the Navy and what it takes to meet that. That goes from everything from high-end combat against a near-peer competitor to the presence operations that we have ongoing every single day of the year to do what Mr. Nugent just said, deter and reassure, to the things like disaster relief, humanitarian assistance, and also we're very lacking in ships and SOCOM on the drug interdiction front. So looking at all the needs that the Navy has, those would be the impacts if you reduced those in absolute numbers. And again, what we're talking about now, we're talking about the fleet of the future. We're not talking about the fleet of today. We're talking about the workforce of the very near future, but the fleet of the future, how many ships we have, what their capabilities are, how they can meet the strategy, is dependent on that force structure analysis. We did the one in 2012. We refreshed it in 2014, and a lot of people, myself included, have been willing to bet the C&O's paycheck that that number of the one we're doing today, right now, that the number 308 is not going to go down. And so even if you look at keeping 308 as a number, if you look at the 30-year shipbuilding plan, if you reduce numbers of any type of ship, you simply don't meet the requirement.
And that was a good lead-in to my question for you, Admiral, and that is that if you look at the shipbuilding plan with the recommendation of administration, we get to 308, but then within a short period of time, we go down precipitously. So if we want to avoid dipping down pretty quickly under the 308 after we get there, aren't we going to have to continue to build these littoral combat ships at the 52 level instead of going down to 40?
Well, certainly, sir, and that's exactly that that fact of shipbuilding, that they come out of service as fast as they went in when they reach the end of their service life. You can extend that a little bit, but eventually they're going to come out at that same rate. And so you have to be minding the decisions of the past, putting together a program that is very thoughtful in terms of reaching and maintaining the requirements of the future. Underneath that 308 number is the composition of that number that's important as well, and the small surface combatant is an important contribution.
Well, thank you for that answer, and I do not want to bet your paycheck. I want you to keep your paycheck, but we want to keep building these ships, too.
I should be clear that after Mrs. Richardson and our 5 kids get their cut, there's very little discretionary money left in that paycheck. So,
with that, I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman.